Hi friends, I picked up the last correction casting of my new bobbins yesterday. They're still quite white, yeah. Well, because last time they were black, and before they were actually made of some kind of strange plastic, yeah, test plastic, in order to cast a test part. They use all sorts of plastic leftovers. The first time they used plastic, hockey. The second time there was black plastic. At some places they weren't molded right. This time it's much better. Everything is casted right. And now I will check the holes, because we have given the margin for shrinkage of the material. Well, it's much better. They just fell into the past bobbins, pretty much sunken. Here, this material has shrunk a lot, and the magnetic conductors are very tight. If you look here, it is also very good, but you can still slightly reduce it. Everything is fine here. Well, what is special about these bobbins? It lies in the fact that they are the correct size, because not a single modern bobbin that can be bought on any site corresponds to the original dimensions of P.A.F. bobbin. And this is the very important part in the search for a voice and a special recognizable timbre of P.A.F. pickups. I found this method by trial and error. For several years, I experimented with different materials, alloys, wire thickness, enamel, tension, patterns, all of it. Of course, has its effect, but I could not find the basics, the very basics of the voice. Something has changed, but in the wrong direction. So when I tried to modify the stock bobbins, it worked for me. Modification is very long and dreary. I also prepared for it for a long time, setting up machines to modify the bobbin by fractions of millimeters. Well, this is quite a technology. When you have at least 100 bobbins, it takes at least 4 days. The first time it was a week, even more. So then I made the decision to make a mold for my bobbins. They must exactly match the inside and front to the original P.A.F. pickup bobbin. There is even an inscription inside. Here, all the markers, all the details are like in the original bobbins. Only here, on the reverse side, there are 4 traces from the pushers, because we have a form of 4 parts, on the sides, upper and lower, and these tracers from the pushers. Modern bobbins are also made this way. If we look at the modern one, we will see 4 traces from the pushers. On the original bobbins, there is just a seam of the joint of forms. Technology has naturally changed, they have become better, and we depend on these technologies. It would be possible to make 3 forms, but it would be much more expensive, a triple form. Even now, this form costs me a very large amount of money, comparable to a good Les Paul. Therefore, it has been going on for about 2 years now. This epic story with bobbins is coming to an end now. It remains only to purchase the right material that we have here in the country. I don't know if we can buy it now, in this situation, but we'll see. Well, to cast the first minimum batch of 1,000 pieces, these trial bobbins are pretty white. Of course, they won't go for a P.A.F, but I also have a wonderful new W41 model that was designed for Stratocaster and Telecaster. And these bobbins, white bobbins, they can match perfectly well the color of such pickups. Plus, I also modified my winding machine. What was done? Now I'll show you. The second wire tensioner came to me, which I also modified like the first one. I replaced the stock brake magnet with this ceramic magnet with 12 neodymium magnets that work smoother and smoother. That is, now I can wind 2 bobbins at once. For this, I slightly redid the tailstock. My center used to be like this. There was such an iron thing that moved. It basically centered one coil well. Now I made this thing on eccentric with 2 guides. Plus, it can be put forward. Fine-tuning. Very well centered. So what do we have here? Well, the work will go much faster now. Well, guys, that's my latest news, and still I have several sets of ready-made pickups in my stash. This is a Model 58 P.A.F, a pair of Galdies, well, several of them. Well, that's all, my friends. I think that soon I will show you the casting, the molding process itself, and the form. And it will be interesting. By the way, here is my logo. See? With this, I say goodbye to you, until we meet again.